Alright, let's talk about revenue streams. I gotta put my hat backwards for the lighting. Anywho, in this video, we're gonna talk about revenue streams. My personal revenue streams as a full-time independent music artist. My revenue streams personally are probably much different than some other artists. I don't care to do certain things that could make me more money, and I also don't prioritize certain things where there could be also more money. I'm just chilling. You know, I'm gonna talk about those other revenue streams as well. Such a bad idea to eat that Starburst. Hold on. I didn't think it through. My fault. First, for those who don't know me, my name is Nick. I'm an independent artist with give or take 4 million monthly listeners on Spotify. It's been going up lately. So that's cool. I just like to talk about growing as an artist and sharing things that have worked for me so that others can grow as well. So let's dive into it. My personal revenue streams as an independent artist from least to greatest. Number 7 will be YouTube AdSense. So money generated from ads that are placed on YouTube videos, whether that be music videos, lyric videos, or even these videos that I'm making here. There are artists making a ton of money on artists that I know pulling 20, 30, 40K a month just on music and lyric videos alone from the AdSense on their YouTube channel. So there's a world where that can be someone's main focus. Number 6, for me personally, is merchandise. Now, I don't do a ton of it anymore. I shut down my merch store. I used to have it was feelsright.shop, and it would just be constantly there. People could go there anytime, order merchandise. Now, I'm moving in the direction of just drops, like limited quantity drops, so that and I'll explain why. So, we had merch here. We would keep blanks. We would keep, we made all our merch here in-house as far as printing it. So we would buy blanks, we'd keep blanks on hand, we would keep inventory. It's a big investment to keep the inventory. And then when we would sell a piece of merch, we would then buy a new blank to always know and make sure that we had quantity on hand. That's what we just kept always a minimum amount on hand so that when it would sell, we know that we would have it. Now, what that did was the margins were just super low on it. It was cool because I hired my brother to fulfill the packages, and my wife ran the printing and labeling and sending out to the mail and stuff. So it was like people around me were working it, and it's providing jobs from family members, which is cool. But all in all, it was just a little bit more work than it was worth for me personally and for us personally. To the other side of that, if I'm just to do drops only, like 100 item, like if I just 100 hoodies, I make them, I put them out, 100 hoodies there. When they sell out, they're gone. You'll never see them again. That's easier for me to track, right? So if I spend $15 per each blank hoodie, I'm just making up numbers here, and buy 100 of them, it's $1,500 in blank hoodies, and then whatever, get them printed, get them out the door. Let's say I get them out the door, cost to me $25. Now they're out the door, each hoodie. Random numbers, right? And I sell the hoodies for $50. Okay, that means I make $25 per hoodie. For 100 hoodies, it's $2,500. It's just like a clear line of profit margin that I can understand and see. And then when everything is sold out, there was profit. But that's the direction I'm moving in as far as my merchandise, and that's why my merch store is shut down and I don't keep it open anymore. It was just a lot of work, and it was a lot of stuff sitting on shelves all the time that cut into the margin of running a well-oiled, profitable merch business. Revenue stream number 5, on the way up to number 1 here, is grouped. Grouped is like a Patreon alternative, but it's really designed and built by and for artists. Now, on Grouped, you can have a paywall side of things. You can also have a free tier. I have both. I have a free tier and a paywall side. I have almost 12,000 people in there in general, whether it be free or paid. On my personal group, I do a song every week, an unreleased song every week on Mondays. I do a vlog or other type of video on Wednesdays, and I do giveaways on Friday. There's many other ways you can run yours if you choose to do something like this. I know people personally, there's a dude, Mike, an artist, Mike. He makes the same or more off of his subscribers on his grouped page that he does with his streaming. So right now he's got, maybe 4 million monthly listeners if you combine Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, whatever, and he has almost 10,000 people signed up for his group at $9 a month. So he makes the same or more, just varies, right? It fluctuates off of 10,000 people as he does as the 4 million monthly listeners. And I think what artists can take away from this is that if you just nourish and feed the fans who already care, like the people who already rock with you, if you take really in-depth care of them, then you don't need to always be chasing virality and growth and more listeners and blah, blah, blah. That you can build a place, a community of people who care about you already and want to support you and want to support you financially, and they want that option and that access to things that other people don't get. Now, obviously, not everyone's gonna join and just start making 6 figures a month. I just mean like an extra $1,000 a month. You know, you get 100 people signed up at $9 a month, that's $900 a month. You get 200 people signed up at $5 a month, that's $1,000 a month. And I think that that's not overly ambitious of an ask for a lot of artists. Now, obviously, it's slow and steady growth. I'm just throwing out examples, right? You know that's what I do. I just think and I just throw out words, and hopefully they make sense and hopefully they're helpful. I see grouped like the future. It's like almost like owning your own streaming service. It's not only great for that, it's great for like collecting data. Like when people sign up, you get their phone number, their email address. So next time you drop merch, like I know an artist who dropped merch on his group page, sold out 90% of it before he had to post it on social media. I know an artist who started his group page, only has a free side, but announced his tour on there and sold out, I don't know, like a handful of the cities just from his group post. He didn't even have to post on social media. So I just mean like the people that take the time to go sign up for something like that for you, they care. And it's like just like getting this community of people who are wanting to buy show tickets, to buy merchandise, to support you financially with your songs. You get them in one place, and it's just like you build a community in there. It's got discussion tabs. It's got anyway. I'll make a different video on like what it all has to offer if you want me to another time. But grouped as like a, you know, that idea of having your fans support you directly is a wonderful idea, and I do think it's the future for independent artists, right? To allow people to support you directly instead of, you know, relying on the streaming payouts, you know? So anyway, that's number 5 for me. Number 4 for me is my book. The book that I wrote on my, you know, my journey and my path and my advice on how to make a living making music. A lot of you guys have already supported that book, so thank you so much. It's an amazing feeling, truly is, to put something out in the world that you believe is valuable. I believe that book is value-packed and that no one has a book like it. To see the response to people who read it echo those same sentiments is amazing, because, you know, you put a lot of time into something, you put a lot of effort into something, and then you just kind of throw it out into the world. You never know what to expect. So it's humbling. I'm grateful, and thank you for all the support. The book kind of like outlines my thoughts and my advice on how to kind of move and operate in the climate of the music industry today, and just like how I was able to go from 0 monthly listeners to, you know, at one point over 5 million. And right now I'm at 4.6 million at the time of making this video. It's always fluctuating. It's exactly what I did. I'm not hiding anything in it. It's like truly, this is what I did. This is how I did it. Anyway, so thank you for the support in the book. Now, moving on to revenue stream number 4. Revenue stream number 3 is the Freddie Show, the podcast. Now it's more of a show, but it was a podcast at the beginning with my buddy Cakes. That is probably currently my revenue stream number 3. The book actually, well, I'm gonna switch 3 and 4. Freddie Show technically number 4, book technically number 3. Anyway, so the Freddie Show podcast with my buddy. That's another one of my revenue streams where there's some brand deals involved in it. There is revenue from getting views on TikTok, like TikTok will pay us directly. There's gifts people give us when we go live on TikTok and people donate. That's one of my revenue streams. And I believe that other artists should lean into this. You know, if they have something else that they're interested in, passionate about, a hobby, whatever, that you can create another thing alongside of you. It's just like an extension of you. It's an extension of your personal brand, and you can build these things side by side, and they kind of feed into each other. Like when I post stuff on my music page, I often get comments like, is this the same dude playing those games on the other channel? Is this the dude from the podcast? Is it whatever? It just goes to show, like, there's so many people out there that are finding you in different ways, and then they see me on the podcast and they see me sing my song. They connect those dots and now they're a fan of my music too. You don't have to just be an artist if you're like, I don't know. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. I don't know, man. I believe that the Freddie Show had a big impact, and it was like a big outlier in my career. And I go more in depth than that in my book as well. Now, moving on. Revenue stream number 2 is publishing royalties. There's 2 sides of royalties as far as making money with your music. One is publishing, one is mechanical. Now, mechanical royalties are like streaming and song sales and other stuff like that. Publishing royalties are like radio, internet radio, sync licensing stuff, or if your song gets placed in a TV show or blah, blah, blah. That kind of all leans on the pub side. I'm not going to get super detailed about what these each mean, but publishing is my number 2 revenue stream. And then my number 1 revenue stream by far is streaming. Just streaming royalties, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. That's my number 1 by far revenue stream. And a lot of people say, there's no money in streaming. They don't pay us enough. It's only 0.0035 cents per stream, that stuff. And yes, it's low. It doesn't seem like a lot. But if you get enough people listening, it can add up. It can be very, very lucrative. I think that's, I was going to talk about other revenue streams that don't necessarily apply to me, that are actually big parts of other independent artists or other artists in general. And those are touring, brand deals, selling features, sync licensing, and even like Facebook Reels bonus. Like, people post videos on Facebook, they go get a million views on Facebook, and Facebook will pay you for those views. I know an artist who's making $7,000 a month just from Facebook Reels. Tour obviously can be lucrative if you do it right, but there's a reason often why people call it volunteering. And that's because you don't make a ton of money when you tour, and you kind of have to rely on selling merchandise and meet and greets and other things like that to make sure that you're making it profitable. There are artists who run very profitable tours. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying a lot of people tour and they call it volunteering because there's not a lot of money in it unless you're doing the other things alongside. Brand deals. There's a lot of money in brand deals. I personally just don't look into them much. I don't care to. It would have to be brands that I really like and trust and would use on a daily basis. And I'm not going to just take a bunch of brand deals of people or companies that I don't believe in just for $1 and share it with people who trust my opinion. The Freddie Show, we've done some brand deals with stuff that we actually like. And it's not that I wouldn't do it. I just don't put a lot of thought into it, a lot of energy. I don't have a brand person. That's the part with me, is I don't have anybody. I don't have management. I don't have label. I don't have a brand dude. I don't have whatever. I don't have it, So it's all kind of on me, and I can only have so much time in the day, and it's just not where my priorities lie. So maybe one day I'll start diving into the brand deal scene. I'll update you guys on how that is. But for me personally, I don't do many of them. I do know artists that crush it in this world. 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures in brand deals annually. Selling features. I don't really do many features at all. But, that could be lucrative too if you decide to go be the featured person. An artist that I know personally does a bunch of features, and it really helps supplement income when streaming's low or when, just whatever. And then sync licensing. I've never dove into this. I would like to be a part of this. So if I find somebody, that I trust, that can help me out with, getting into TV shows, it'll be Netflix series or commercials or whatever, just having my music. Basically, sync licensing is having your music placed in these things, right? Having your music in a movie trailer, or in the back of a TV show, or played during a commercial, or yada, yada, yada. That's sync licensing. And how the money works on that is you'll usually get up front a sync fee. It's just a fee to pay you, hey, there's this. And then you get royalties moving forward for however many times that your song is aired. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to dive too deep into the details of all these things. These are just revenue streams that I have personally, and then that I also know other artists that are doing them. That's pretty much it for this video. If you like these kind of videos, subscribe if you're new. And yeah, cheers.